Hello, good morning. It's your man Max back again. So today I'll talk about the principle, the principality, and the concept of 1% Goggins for the common man. Even though this is an aspirational self-improvement brand, my website I started in 2017, to the max.blog, to the max, play on words, personal brand because I'm Max, but it's the highest level, the ascent. It's an aspirational brand, a journey as I try to ascend to the max, the highest level, the pinnacle, the 1%, and I try to feed the tools along the way. And this is a subsidiary, the YouTube channel. It's actually grown more than the website because people like video format. But today's lesson, far be it from me to be a coach or a professor or a teacher, but my 2 cents, I'm just sharing something, friend to friend, bro to bro, man to man. 1% Goggins. David Goggins, motivational speaker, decorated soldier, Army Ranger man, Navy SEAL, best-selling author, motivational speaker. I think he was like jumping out of airplanes, fighting fires. We should try to be 1% Goggins. He's running 300-mile races, ultra marathons. Jog a mile. You don't need to overdo the running. It can cause joint stress and increase cortisol and hunger response and lead to a calorie surplus when it's not needed, when we need to be in a calorie deficit. So, even if you can't do all that running, walk. You can walk unlimited. Walk 10 miles a day, 20,000 steps. Walk 15,000 steps a day. At bare minimum, maybe you're a little bit older, maybe you've had some leg injury, get the 10,000 steps in. Get a home treadmill, get a NordiTrack, go to the gym, walk to the store, walk to an appointment, But anyways, 1% Goggins, and this principle of the 1% of the elite, although I'm not encouraging you to slow down, but this is just something to consider. It's a meditative practice to center yourself and really employ consistency over intensity. It was Bruce Lee, I think he said something along the lines of, I don't fear the man who does, 1,000 kicks in one day. I fear the man who does, 1,000 or one kick in 1,000 days in a row. So, David Goggins, he's doing thousands of pull-ups. It's a little extreme, and I have a tendency to go to the extreme, but sometimes we have to slow down a little bit and center ourselves. Do, 10 pull-ups a day, and then progressively overload that to 25 pull-ups a day. But if you keep doing that every day for, 365 days a year, do that for 5 years, 10 years, progressively overload it to 100, and you really stick to the regimen, you will see some gains. You will see some back gains. You will see some bicep gains. You will go to the doctor and have a healthy body composition. You will look good in the mirror. So, just keep with the consistency. But, and this principle translates over into other areas of life in regards to health, wealth, love, and happiness. Think about finance and wealth. Elon Musk, what does he have? 450 million, 500 million, comparable to Rockefeller, the wealthiest man in the world. If you had 1% of Elon Musk's wealth, you would have a pretty penny. You'd be doing pretty well for yourself. I think you'd be pretty happy. And you had 1% of Warren Buffett's investing acumen. I think you'd be doing pretty well and you'd be pretty happy. So it's not about always going to the extreme. Although, build up your tolerance and slowly but surely, acquire the small gains and employ that compound interest over time, consistency over intensity, we should see some good results. But, try to be 1% Goggins, 1% Elon Musk. That's the lesson for today.